Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Big day today. Definitely, we have a big day today. Big moves to the downside yesterday in the overall market after Fed came out, said, hey, yeah, we're going to probably have to do the balance sheet runoff pretty aggressively. And that's it. That's all it took. Boop, drop. And now today, look at this extension drop on Tesla. Man, you know what sucks about this is that we've been waiting for the Fed minutes for this move, and I feel like it's taking the whole trade away from us almost. Feels like it's almost taking the whole trade away from us. So kind of sad to see that happen. Took advantage yesterday, made some money on some Tesla puts a couple times, but man, yesterday I gave you guys the plan I was looking for with a possible swing trade from today. But who knows what's going to happen now. So how is everyone doing today? Dwayne, good morning. All right, guys, let me put out a quick tweet and a Facebook post. Let everybody know we're live. Taylor, good morning. Yeah, let's make some money. Yesterday was a good day. Looking forward to today. Joe, good morning, good morning. Glad to see everybody tuning in. Guys, remember to hit that like button for me. It really helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Man, so I gotta get rid of the fish tank in the background this weekend. It's done. It's done dead. It's over. And I'm not going to restart it. I'm not getting rid of it completely. It's just not going to be here anymore. I'm going to clean it up, store it. And when I have more time to dedicate to it, I'll bring it back. That'll be quite a ways away. Joey, good morning. I wonder what I should put back there as far as something that looks, cool for the background. The king, it's funny you should mention that, because not anytime soon, but I am planning. I have half an acre basically of land here, so I am planning eventually on doing an aviary and having different types of parrots and stuff like that. So that's gonna be fun. Maybe, and I'm gonna build it myself. So maybe I'll do like a whole little video thing when I do it, post it up on the channel, but that's still a ways away. A picture of Elon. I agree, Taylor. I'm an animal person. I've had them all, man. I've had all sorts of birds, and I'm talking about from being a kid up to adult. All sorts of birds, chameleons, dogs, cats, fish galore. I just sold a 180-gallon fish tank I had in the backyard. I just sold it the other day. Just no time for it, man. No time for it. And then when I leave, for months on end to the other house in the Keys, just don't have time for it. So right now, all we got is my wife's dog, and that's it. Yeah, King. I want to build something big. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those people who enjoys the process more than the final result. So today I'm gonna go outside with a tape measure, measure the area where I want to do it, and then start sketching it out. Even though it might be months or years or a year or two away from building it, and just simply because of lack of time to dedicate, I I want to start just sketching it out. Joey, you know, more so with the reef tank I had, because that's what I had. I had a little reef tank back there, so I had coral and everything, and everything was doing great. The coral was growing great, but I started getting hair algae, and I had everything I could possibly do to get rid of it. Plucked it out by hand. I had a different type of filter in the back of the tank, because that's an all-in-one tank, and I had another type of algae that grows and eats like the phosphate and stuff that's in the minerals that are in the water that are feeding the hair algae. So I had that going. I had special drops. I did water changes. I just couldn't get ahead of it. It just kept coming back and back and back. I just gave up. And man, Deep, you're new here. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. The king, don't get macaws, they're too noisy. They are noisy as hell. I'm not gonna get macaws. They're cool to look at, but I'm not getting macaws because it's too much. You can have 2 chickens in Scranton. I got about 5 out there in the chicken coop. 2 snakeheads and 2 Oscars for 8 years. Had to hire a guy to clean it every 2 weeks. How big is the pond, Joey? I imagine that's a pond, right? Not a tank? Nah, Taylor, it wouldn't. Because if it's a pond, you got to be on top of it. If it's outside, Joy, are you here in Florida? Where are you? Marshall, fun fact, guys, and this has just turned into some wild stuff. Marshall, fun fact: African greys have a vocabulary of a 3-year-old. They're one of the smartest, if not the smartest parrot that exists. Oh, okay, Joey. Nice, the king. They didn't make as much, but we did well on Tesla puts. I actually traded Tesla puts in my regular account, and then a little bit later in the morning, when we were actually done with the recaps and lessons in chat, I was like, you know what? This looks good for a scalp. I opened up my Vanguard retirement account, and I have approved, I'm approved there for options. So just one contract, because the interface on that isn't meant for quick executions. So just got one contract, one put, make quick $200 in my Roth IRA. $200 tax free tastes better than $1,000 in my taxable account. Oh wow, Joy, I had no idea you were over there. Wow, man, that's far. Oh, Dwayne, that's so awesome. Dwayne says, just finished my chicken coop, now just need chickens. That's cool, dude. I There's nothing better. We haven't bought eggs in years. That was like a little time frame for about 2 or 3 months where they weren't laying. That was recent, and I had to buy eggs from the store. But outside of that, I don't buy eggs. I don't buy eggs. Dude, the king. You started with Scottrade. Man, I had a Scottrade account. I had a Scottrade account since I was a teenager, because my dad did one of those joint accounts so that I could learn about the stock market. That's wild. Scottrade. That got bought out by TD Ameritrade. That's cool. All right, guys. Well, any tickers you want me to start looking into for you? My buddy made a duck coop. When he lets them out, they just follow him around. Little demons. That's funny. The Beast, MOBQ. Oh, that's just popped up right now. Decent looking daily chart. Let's go see if it has news. Oh wow, Joy, and you moved over there to Venezuela? Why is my internet acting up? There we go. Okay, so MOBQ Mobility Technologies Inc. partners with a nation to provide data and programming advertising. Blockbuster, the king. Dude. So we definitely have some news here on MOBQ. Clear level here that I'll be watching at $2. It does not get any more clear than that, I would say. Previous support. Turned resistance. Now we're above it. We want to see that level hold support. You got room here to the 280s, 290 area. There, 1990s. Dwayne, nice. Congratulations. You know, what I do is I split it. Like the money I put in the retirement account, I split it and I put the bulk of it, half to the bulk of it, in a fund, okay? In a fund or an ETF. That way it's pretty nice and secure and safe. Something that I know is going to track the market, hands off. And then I use the remainder into some more of like two types of companies. Good companies that I know are going to be around, you know, the Apples, Googles, you know, Microsoft, stuff like that. And then the other little portion, smaller portion, I'll put in speculative companies that I think will be around. And if they are, we're going to hit it out of the park, you know, 500% return, 1000% return, stuff like that. So for me, Palantir, ChargePoint, SoFi, stuff like that. That's how I treat my retirement account. So MOBQ, I'll be watching that $2 zone. Let me bring up my emails here so I can get this ready. It's funny now if somebody tunes into the stream right now, it'll start from basically, well, it depends if they started afterwards, I guess. But if they scroll up through the chat, they're gonna be like, why are these people talking about birds and parrots and what is this? They'll do a double take on the channel, guaranteed. MOBQ. So MOBQ watching for the $2 area to hold support on pullbacks. Could have room towards 290 100-day MA zone. Has news today. Partners with a nation to provide data and programmatic advertising. The SPY 450. Oh, SBFM. SBFM. Wasn't that one from yesterday? Yeah, it was. This one was one we watched on yesterday. It did nothing yesterday. You know, it had its big old gap up. You guys remember we drew this line together at 475. It pulled in, held that zone. So as long as it's above 475, I think this thing has potential. It's got to get above $7. You know, it's got to get above that $7 area. So I'd watch for that. I might add it here, maybe like back burner type. SPFM watching for 475 to continue to hold support or a break and a hold of the $7 area. Right, that's about $7, right? Yeah. 680, let's say. The King have a 450 SPY put and Twitter 50 put for open. Nice, man. Congrats. Can you explain how to roll an options trade? Easy. Let's say you're in an options trade right now. You feel like you're gonna need more time on it. It's not anything special. You close out the trade. You close out the trade you're in right now, and then you just buy the further out expiration of the same contract. So you keep the strike price the same, the underlying assets the same. The only thing that you're gonna do is roll it out further by closing out the current one and buying the same strike price, same underlying stock, etc., same contract, just a further out expiration date. Cuban coffee, too much sugar. There's never enough sugar. Yes, there is. Sugar's bad. Well, in excess. Joey, I did, but I find trouble with it because the analysis was correct, right? I said, guys, if the Fed minutes come out with hawkish tone regarding the balance runoff, okay, regarding that, we're going to see X and X and X things happen with the SPY. Now, today at 2 p.m., we would get the Fed minutes. Today's when we were supposed to see that. So that action we saw yesterday is what should have happened today. So it happened yesterday. We caught it in the moment. Like, we were in chat, and within, I say, 5 minutes of the news breaking, we caught on to it. And that was Bernard came out and said, and she's the most dovish of the Fed, we're going to have to be more aggressive with the balance sheet runoff. They're going to have to basically, if you read between the lines, be active about it, right? So then that caused that major pullback. We were able to partake in that trade a little bit with put options on Tesla in the chat room. So we caught put options and made some money on them. But yesterday, if you guys remember, I went over, I don't know if I did it here in the stream or I just did it over in the Discord with my team. But at one point or another, at some point yesterday, I went over the SPY and all that. I know we did it on the stream, but then this other plan. My plan was to size into the trade today. If the keywords were there in the minutes, my plan was to size into the trade with a partial take profit into the afternoon, holding on to some for maybe a day or two or more, right? As I scale out of that trade, expecting the SPY to come down to the 50-day moving average. So then we roll into today. And I mean, we still have, thankfully, room down here to the 50-day, but it just makes the trade that much harder. Because look at all we've already done. So, I mean, you have to get, I would think, some sort of bounce back here today, maybe at the bell, maybe a little bit after, that would allow for a potential entry. But then when the Fed minutes come out, and I don't think that's going to be the case. And you know what? It's fine. We started talking about this already. Jackie, good morning. I don't think it's the case where yesterday they say, hey, we're going to have to be aggressive. We're going to have to be aggressive with this. And then today we get the minutes and they don't even mention anything. I don't think that's the case, right? So I think that what they did yesterday, and I went over this yesterday live on the microphone with the team in the Discord. I think what they did yesterday was very calculated. It was done on purpose. It was the equivalent, and this is the same analogy I used yesterday. It was the equivalent of, let's say, you go into work today, but tomorrow you want to go fishing. You want to go do whatever you want to go do tomorrow. You don't want to go to work. So you roll into work today, right? And you start very slow. Somebody asks you, hey, how you doing? How's it going? You're like, I think I'm coming down with something. You throw a few coughs here and there. You look lethargic, etc. You just got to start prepping that ready so that tomorrow, when you call in sick, no one's surprised. I think that's what the Fed did yesterday. The Fed team, they sent Bernard out. They said, say these things. Came out, said the things. Caused the big drop yesterday. So that when today the minutes actually come out, you don't get the massive drop. I think that's what they tried to accomplish. Now, whether or not it's going to work, it's up in the air. We're going to have to wait until 2 p.m. We're going to have to see what the minutes hold. And then it's going to make for a tougher trade because of that drop. Because of that drop, it's going to make for a tougher trade, in my opinion. Because half the move that I wanted is gone now. Half the move that I thought we were going to get off the back of the Fed minutes today is gone now because they kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit earlier. So that makes it for today's trading to be more difficult, in my opinion, for that because of that purpose, because of what they did yesterday. Which, don't let it fool you, in my opinion, it was calculated. It was a calculated move by the Fed because they're allowing for, kind of like a little overnight soft landing on these minutes, in other words. So I still think we get down to the 50-day. So what I'll be looking for today is this 200-day moving average to act as a level of resistance on the SPY and see if we can get that drift back down here towards the 50-day. Now, after the minutes come out and over the coming days, I still think we get down here between underneath the 50-day or at the 50-day and 430. I think this is where the SPY is going to go settle in. Why? Well, remember, last time we went over this yesterday together here. Last time we had the Fed minutes come out and speak towards the balance runoff, right? It was on this day here. We got the suckers rally and then we got the infinite dump that sent us where? Into this level. Okay, we bounced off of it, gave it back. Russia invades Ukraine. We get the massive drop down here lower. Okay, so let's say this didn't happen. Let's say that didn't happen. Let's get rid of it. Let's say that did not happen. Has anything changed with inflation? Has it gotten better? No. Has the Fed become more dovish? No, they've become more hawkish. Has the supply chain issues been resolved? No. It's still running rampantly bad, right? So that would mean that we should be able to see the SPY get back down here into this region. Okay? That's my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so there you go. That's my SPY outlook. That's my short-term SPY outlook here for the coming month, let's say. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and write up the SPY now here. So SPY, watching for the 200-day MA around 448 zone to hold resistance for a drop down towards the 50-day. That 50-day lies right around 442. Around the 442 area. Okay, so let me get back to you guys' comments. Okay, I already explained the rolling over. Thank you, Joey. AMD coming down to 100. Oh yeah, there you go. Still a little bit, a few points away, but it's coming. All right, do you guys have any other tickers you want me to look at for you? If you guys have any other tickers you want me to look at, just let me know, or questions. I'll bring it up on the chart. Where'd everybody go? All right, we got 23 people watching, 13 likes on here. Help me out, guys. Hit that like button and help with the YouTube algorithm. Yannick, good morning. Oh yes, you know what, Joy? I'm glad you brought up Oxy. Oxy, I saw it yesterday in the evening after the close. It has a head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart that I'm liking. Right shoulder, head. Sorry, left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder is starting to form. Where's my trend line? There is the neckline. So definitely something that I'm watching here now. I like it. I like that one. I'm glad you brought that one up. I'm gonna put it on the back burner here. Oxy, watching for the head and shoulders pattern to continue to develop on the daily chart. You got puts yesterday? Nice. Yeah, you're in the money. Nice, man. Heck yeah. Congrats. Oh, you sold it already? Oh, gotcha, gotcha. I gotcha. Guys, remember DTC Lite and DTC Pro. Let me get you 2 weeks for free here. And DTC Pro $50 off ends Friday. All right, so we have MOBQ, SPY, SPFM, Oxy, and we're putting up here on the list. BBAI, let's go check on that one. I don't see any recent news on this. News I see is from 6 days ago. Big gap up here today on this one. We have this previous resistance here at 1050. You can watch and see if that level can hold support on pullbacks, but the reality is I'd prefer to see it hold above yesterday's highs in these 11s. And keep that on watch. BTAI. Don't like this daily chart as much. But it does have news. FDA approved its therapy for adults with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. There's a key level here to watch though. Right there, 2330s. You got that 200-day moving average just above that level by a few pennies. So that's definitely a level to watch. Previous resistance, resistance, previous support. So those would be levels to watch on that one. So BTAI, FDA approved its therapy for adults. Watching the 2330s for support. Could have room. I mean, this thing really has some room here. It could open up to 30 bucks. Could have room 25 to $30 area. All right. Any names, guys? Any tickers you want me to bring up for you? Let's check in on this news. Surging interest rates push mortgage demand down more than 40% from a year ago. 30-year fixed mortgage crosses 5%. Man, that exploded really quickly, really fast. This should start to slow down real estate a little bit. Maybe we can start seeing some drop in prices. All right, let's see here some news here. Twitter fell 1.5% in pre-market trading, potentially breaking a 3-day win streak that has seen it gain nearly 32%. Elon Musk, now Twitter's largest shareholder, changed the type of SEC filing regarding his share purchases to show it was not passive. Well, Twitter pulling back in here with the rest of the market, of course. Watch and see if we can get down here to 45 over time. DWAC, I think, continues to suffer because you have more than one thing going on here. You got the market pulling back hard, and then you have Twitter, you know, with Elon Musk purchasing the largest stake in it. And the whole premise behind DWAC is more along the lines of freedom of speech platform with Truth Social. But if you get Elon Musk coming out here, who is very vocal about freedom of speech, and that's something that's important to him for a social media platform such as Twitter, and he gets involved in Twitter, people are going to think to themselves, okay, well, Truth Social is going to not be as popular because Twitter already has everything. It has the infrastructure, it has the popularity, it has the brand recognition, and now it has Elon Musk, who is a proponent of, freedom of speech. So it makes sense that DWAC would continue to possibly suffer here. It's got room to fall. If it breaks under 44, you could see this thing down here at 36. You could see it down here under about 36, 37. All right. So I will appease the Google gods and not say anything there. So BBAI, we went over. BTAI, we went over. Oh, guys, Spirit. So Spirit said its board will consider a new $3.6 billion cash takeover from JetBlue. Spirit has agreed in February to be bought by Frontier Airlines parent Frontier Group for $2.9 billion in cash and stock. Spirit slid 2.8% in pre-market, with JetBlue dropping 3.7% and Frontier falling 3.9%. But yeah, look at this move here on SAFE from 21 bucks all the way up here towards 28. This thing is going to be volatile here until all this gets kind of settled in. Tilray rose 2.1% in pre-market after reporting on an unexpected profit for its latest quarter, even as revenues fell below analyst estimates. The cannabis producer also announced a deal with supermarket chain Whole Foods, which will sell hemp powder produced by Tilray's subsidiary. Okay. I'm not going to touch this thing. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. I don't think that's newsworthy enough to get this thing towards 9 or anything. Rivian shares gained 1.7% in pre-market after the company said it was on pace to achieve its previously stated production target of 25,000 electric vehicles this year. Ain't nothing happening there, man. Are you kidding me? I like Rivian. I think it's even worthy of a potential small long-term position. Small, because I'd rather just go buy Tesla, but I like Rivian, just not at 43 bucks. I don't even like Rivian at 35. I think it needs to be lower. I think Rivian needs to get down into the 20s or even teens. And even then, I might not buy this thing. Do you know the amount of bag holders that are in this thing from up there? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so Oxy, the energy producer shares added 1.7% in pre-market action after Stifel Financial began coverage with a buy rating. Stifel said Occidental remains attractively priced even after it nearly doubled so far this year, noting a largely unappreciated low-carbon business. That might mess up with, I mess up that little head and shoulders pattern a little bit for now. Maybe. We'll see. That's why I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient on it. All right. Nothing else that really stands out to me. So unless you guys have some tickers you want me to look at for you, I'll probably just go into the rest of the news and then just start going through the rest of the scans. And, stream might end a little bit earlier today. Good morning, Keshra. Glad to see you on here. All right, guys. So, Robert, Jesse, what do you think about Cureleaf? I imagine that's Cureleaf. I like Cureleaf. That's a good one for long term. Where are we now? We're still at 7. I have it there like on my watch list. I haven't picked up for the long term yet. I want to see if we can get down here to the 4s. And it's going to be in my taxable account. I'm not going to throw in there like a huge amount of money or anything, but pick up some, It's an American cannabis company. These things are much better managed than Canadian ones. They actually make money. They're profitable companies. So why you see something like this that is profitable at $7, $6 is simply because you can't really get banks involved in this thing. They cannot buy it because cannabis is still federally illegal. So you can't really get hedge funds in this. You can't get banks in this. You can't really get them in here. So all you really have is retail. The moment, if ever, it becomes federally legal, I think these companies are just going to explode. Matey mate, yep, nice gap down on the SPY this morning. And Nvidia is way down. Nvidia has been coming down really hard lately. Look at that. But we got a lot of potential support on Nvidia here. You had the 50-day and the 200-day moving average converging in that level. Notice how Nvidia hasn't gotten a death cross. One of the only tech stocks not to have a death cross on it. So we'll see what it does down here. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, so far we have MOBQ, SPY, obviously, BTAI, SBFM, Oxy, and we will have Tesla here eventually on the list as well. Nice, Robert. Nice scoop. Yeah, if I ever get to open my position in it, I'm going to be holding that 10, 20 years. So, yeah, when I say it's long-term, I really mean it. When I say long-term hold, I'm looking to buy this for the long-term or I own this for the long-term. I'm holding that thing probably until I'm 60, at least. Unless profit targets are met, ahead of time. For example, I have Palantir from different prices across 3 different accounts, 2 retirements, 1 mine, 1 my wife, and 1 taxable. If Palantir, gets to $100, I'm going to take some profit off. Thank you. I'm gonna take some profit off, even if I'm not, even though I'm not 60 years old. But yeah, typically it's 10, 20-year holds for me on most of these, and more really, honestly, because even 20 years from now, I'm not 60 yet. I don't believe that, Michael. I don't believe that. When we are 60 years old, Google will still exist. Apple will still exist. Amazon will most certainly exist. These companies run the world. They're not going anywhere. There's not going to be any massive revolution that's going to take on these tech companies. We're not going to be, in tents in the wilderness. It's not going to happen. It's just not. If it were going to happen, it would have happened already. It would have happened already. What happens at 60? I retire. I'm already almost semi-retired. And in another 10 years, I'm going to be more semi-retired. All right. So, yes, in crypto. My crypto holdings are also long-term. I trade them every once in a while, but it's not something that I actively trade all the time. Heck, the last time I had an active trade with crypto was Shiba, and it was right when we launched the Discord. That one was a banger. Woof, that was a nice trade. It was Shiba, and I was actively trading Ethereum. But my long-term portfolio on crypto is all long-term holds. MOBQ still running. Needs to slow down. Man, that's such a nice bull flag here, guys. You got the 9 EMA VWAP cross. What you want to see now is going to be something like that with good volume. That's what you're going to want to see now. And you're going to need big volume to give you the confidence in that you're going to get that. That's what you're going to want to see. That's what you're going to want to see. This is what I do, guys, in the Discord. I draw things out before they happen, telling the team, this is what you want to look for, stuff like that. Like, I tell you my plans on the trades before they even happen. Nice, the beast. Nice, nicely done. So let's see if that holds. Entry, in my opinion, anywhere in here is the more conservative trade with the stop just underneath. First take profit will be up here. 290s. 295. We'll see if we get it. We'll see if we get it. Let me hop on over real quick to Tesla. So Tesla, I want to watch and see if 1064 gets broken to the downside and becomes resistance. Watching for 1064 to break to the downside and become resistance for a fade that could take us down towards near 1,000. This could take a couple days to get all the way down there, but it also depends on these Fed minutes today, how hawkish they sound. So MOBQ, SPY, Tesla, BTAI, SPFM, Oxy, all on watch. Yeah, things will be different. I agree. All right, guys, do you have any other tickers you want me to take a look at for you? Is Tilray still moving around? There you go. Nice little move here on Tilray. You know, if Tilray does begin to hold the 100-day moving average, which is this white line on my screen, you can see here was previously support there, resistance here. You could see this thing make an attack at $8 to $9, honestly. If it can get up over 870s, you could see it at 9. I'm not sure, the king, not sure. DNAY. Well, this thing made fresh new lows. Wow, this was back in December that we went over this one. It's been a while. So you're going to be at a pretty tough area here. You have all this previous support there. I don't even want to draw the arrows. It's so much. It's such a big level. And we're right up in the face of it. If it can't break above that, you might start to see this thing pull back. Maybe try to pull back into 5. This thing's been up a bunch of days in a row now. So that'd be the level to watch there in the 640s, 650s. Microsoft. I'm guessing you meant Microsoft, right? MS, because you pro MSTF, that's nothing. Yeah, it has to be Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft is the 200-day moving average. This is something that I really like to actively trade. It generally doesn't have big range. And I mean, this really isn't big range. That a 5-point range there, and then another 5-point range here. It's at the 200-day moving average. So you can watch and see if that level wants to hold support at the 200-day, potentially. Outside of that, that 317 did hold strong resistance. Previous support zone held strong resistance here. So you can watch and see if that 200-day holds. Otherwise, you might see this thing crack and come all the way back down here to the 50-day moving average underneath 300. BMY. BMY. BMY has potential strong support there at about 70. You can see it clearly here. Resistance, resistance back here, and way back here some support. We're quite a ways away from that right now. About 3-4 points away. You want to see a pullback into that. Maybe this 50-day moving average will catch up, and you can find yourself a nice little new base to start happening there. Oh, no worries, Joy. I deciphered it. No worries. So that's what I would look for on BMY. Hey guys, remember next week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. we will be having our second DTC Pro study session for DTC Pro students. We did one last month. We're going to do another one here in April. All right. AMC. Well, AMC is now underneath this line we drew around 21. You have room down here to the 50-day moving average in the 18s, and it wouldn't surprise me to see it back in the 14s soon enough. The reality is AMC made this move, especially this big move here, based off of GME and its own fluff news regarding the stock split. That had nothing to do with AMC. People were starting to talk about AMC doing a split. Why would AMC do a split? It's a $20 stock. So I think it'll start taking back that move. And we could see AMC at 14 next month. We could see that. MOBQ. MOBQ broke up and out of the flag, hit the first take profit zone here, tapped those 290s, but it's rejecting and coming back inside the flag. Typically, if you were going to buy the breakout of the flag there and you break back inside of it, you would stop out. If you bought inside the flag, the stop would still be here underneath VWAP. That's still something to keep on watch there. Hey, Joy, thanks. Joy says, hit that like button, 29.29. There we go, 29 hit. Thanks, Joy, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Guys, I'll be back on the stream tomorrow at 8 again. I stream Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then I'm over on the Discord live all day long. The Discord, you got two ways of joining it. You could do 2 weeks for free here. Then it's just $24.99. We used to do a whole month for free. That went away last week. And now it's only 2 weeks for free and then $24.99. Probably in May or June, we're going to be getting away from $24.99 and we're going to be bumping that up. And it's not going to be $29.99. It'll probably be over that. All right, just a heads up. But if you're in at $24.99, guess what? Your price is locked in and that's what you keep. And I stream, like you see me here, all day long. All day long, with the exception of 12 to 2, where we go to lunch. But my screens stay up for you. The king. Side hustle and some investing, brother. I guess that's the only thing I could think of. TANH. You have this $55 zone that's been support. Maybe you start to build out a base there and you can get yourself some consolidation like that. If you can get that, maybe some piece of news comes out on this thing, you could get maybe, you know, a break out of that. So that'd be something to look for on that. But you're gonna need some sort of catalyst. All right, let's check out this piece of news here, guys. U.S. stock futures drop Wednesday as investors await more insight into what appears to be a Federal Reserve shifting to an even more aggressive monetary policy tightening path. Minutes from the Fed's March meeting, which featured the first interest rate hike in more than 3 years, are out at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The market sees at least a quarter rate increase at all 6 of the remaining Fed meetings this year, with bigger 50 basis point possible in May and June. Fed Governor Lael Brainard, who normally favors loose, so that's what I was telling you guys earlier this morning in the stream, who normally favors loose policy, she's more dovish, and low rates, said Tuesday the central bank needs to act quickly and aggressively to drive down inflation. Those comments sent Wall Street and bond yields to near 3-year highs again. That's about it. Musk spends $2.64 billion on Twitter shares so far this year. Filing shows. He was buying Twitter since like January something. So this has been in the making. This guy's a genius. This guy plays chess at 3D. He plays 3D chess, I swear to you. All right, guys. So I think that's going to conclude the watch list. I think I'm going to keep it that way. Oh, you know what? Let me check on something. MULN, guys, this thing has been consolidating very well. Very well. I'm trying to keep it on watch, see if I can catch a trade on this one, a swing trade on this one. We'll see how the market acts today, and if we get any pullbacks in this thing. I'd want to see it hold above 2. You know, I would love nothing more than another pullback into this level, then get us a bounce, and then maybe, who knows, we get some press release, you know, get long, and maybe later get some press release and we wake up one morning and it's up here. That would be beautiful. So we'll see what happens. But I am eyeing this one for a swing trade. All right, guys, any last minute questions or any last minute tickers you want me to look up here on chat for you? Otherwise, we'll keep the watch list. MOBQ, SPY, Tesla, BTAI, Backburner, SBFM, Oxy, and I'll even put MULN on here on the back burner. MULN watching for the $2 area to hold support. Watching this for a potential swing trade with a stop under 2 area. Yeah, Joy. Elon has an average price of $35 on Twitter. So if we get any pullbacks into like 40 or even that 50-day moving average level on Twitter, might be worth a scoop. Might be worth a scoop. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna start getting ready to hop on over to the Discord. Once again, if you want to join, 2 weeks for free right here. And if you want to join DTC Pro and get access to all the courses plus our study sessions that we do once a month, then you can check out DTC Pro there. You get everything DTC Lite has to offer, plus all the huge amounts of benefits that you get with DTC Pro, which is all the courses, any course I come out with, locked in price, study sessions, and one-on-one with me as well. Plus video lesson library with a few hundred videos in it, and continue to grow. All right, good luck out there today. Stay disciplined. Remember, at 2 p.m. we got the Fed minutes. Maybe we get a little chop in the morning. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. If we do get a little chop, I'd expect some sort of directional trade at 2 p.m. after 2 p.m. when the Fed minutes come out. All right, guys, stay safe out there. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you all either on the Discord or tomorrow at 8. Peace out, guys.